Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I challenged you guys to ask me some pretty cool questions about the future of online. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, as well as upcoming potential Rockstar Games titles and a whole lot more. So we got a lot to talk about today, so let's not waste any more time, and let's get it started. All right, so even though this really doesn't have to do with future content, I did get this question a lot, and the one I'm going to be answering comes from Tate, who says, do you think the Ardent will be able to go underwater? The answer to that is no. So even though the Ardent is based off of the Lotus that was featured in a James Bond film that is submersible and can go underwater, the Ardent that we are going to be receiving in online does not have such ability. If you drive it into an ocean or a lake or the Alamo Sea, it's just going to sink to the bottom and it's ultimately going to get destroyed. That would have been amazing, and I'm not sure why Rockstar didn't think of that, because it would have been super intuitive for them to kind of tie those two together. But no, the Ardent is a vehicle that doesn't have the ability to swim underwater. It's not a submarine, it's just a normal car. All right, question number 2 comes from Spidershot, who says, do you see new apartments in the next DLC? Well, that would obviously depend on what the theme of the next update is going to be. Recently, Rockstar, instead of adding more apartments, they've been adding places of business, and that's gone hand in hand with the style of updates we've been getting. I don't necessarily want to see new apartments. I want to see new places to live, whether it's Vinewood Hills mansions or Vespucci Beach beach houses or trailer parks in Sandy Shores and Grapeseed. I want to see some different and unique variety than just the standard places to live that we've seen since 2014. So a nice change of pace there would be awesome, but Spidershot, it really all just depends on what Rockstar have next for the theme. If the next theme doesn't have anything to do with, living or just, more casual, then no, I can't see them adding something like new apartments. Moving on, our next question from James is, will the next Rockstar game be GTA 6 after Red Dead Redemption 2, or will it be something like Midnight Club Remastered? So I actually don't think that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be the next game after Red Dead Redemption 2, because Rockstar typically release a bunch of games before they release another Grand Theft Auto game. So, for example, Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, then Red Dead Redemption, then L.A. Noire, then Max Payne 3. So 3 major titles came out before the next Grand Theft Auto game. So I wonder if it'll be the same thing with GTA 6. It'll be Red Dead 2, maybe like a new Midnight Club, and then another Bully, and then we see maybe Grand Theft Auto 6. All I know is I don't believe it's going to be coming as soon as people think, like within the next year or two. I really do think it's going to be a couple more years before we even start sniffing Grand Theft Auto 6, just due to the success of GTA 5 and the other titles that Rockstar want to try and get out as well, like Red Dead, Bully, and Midnight Club. So there's a good chance that we'll see a good handful of those games before the next Grand Theft Auto even releases. Speaking of that, we have a question from Keenan, who says, do you think Rockstar will extend GTA Online's life into 2019 if they make a lot more money? So you would think they would. And honestly, at this point, I'm starting to think that Rockstar may never discontinue providing updates to online, given the recent statement from Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick saying that Rockstar's actions have been forever changed by the success of online. So I don't think it's improbable to see updates still happening in 2018, 2019, maybe even 2020. I know that seems like a super long way away, but if Gunrunning was considered one of Rockstar's most successful updates almost 4 years out, who's to say they won't keep doing DLCs for the next 2 or 3 years, maybe even longer than that? So I think as long as the player base is interested in it, and of course as long as they're making money, which is their bottom line at the end of the day, I can't see why Rockstar won't make updates into 2019 and even beyond that. It's a great segue into another question from Christian, who says, Take-Two Interactive has confirmed the GTA Online DLCs will keep going. Will these DLCs be small DLCs or massive updates like Heist? I would imagine that Rockstar will try and do at least a couple big updates per year. It would not surprise me, though, that if every other update is a smaller one, kind of like Cunning Stunt Special Vehicle Circuit. Now, that might have been a one-off DLC, and Rockstar may continue going forward doing only massive updates, which I think would be nice, because the more content, the better. I think we can all agree that the content in Gunrunning was better than the content in Cunning Stunt Special Vehicle Circuit. But at the end of the day, I think it's all going to be up to what Rockstar want to do. If they want to, keep online going strong, or if they kind of just want to provide more little updates as newer games come out, like Red Dead Redemption 2. So to give give you guys my final opinion on this, I think it's going to be a good mix of both. I think we're probably going to get 2 big updates per year going forward, one in the summer and then one in the winter. So maybe within the next couple of weeks, we get a smaller update or a more medium-sized one, and then in December, we get another one similar to the size of Import-Export. Now, speaking of the potential of that small update, we have a question from BWR73, who says, with Halloween coming up, do you think we may see new content in the Halloween Surprise 2017 update? So that would be awesome. I think Rockstar could make an unbelievable Halloween DLC. I think there's a lot of things that they still have unexplored in terms of vehicles, outfits, weapons, features, stuff like that, dynamic things that they could do to the world of Los Santos. Now, I would imagine Rockstar would pair a Halloween update with an actual DLC that would release. It would kind of be surprising if they just did a one-off Halloween-style update, even though I do think that would be a big success. So I think it will ultimately be paired with something like that. But yeah, I hope that there's a lot of new content. It would be a real bummer if they just reuse the content we've been receiving for the last 2 or 3 years. Now, something else that's happening in October, and is kind of a great segue into another question I want to answer, which comes from Alexander. He says, hey Ross, do you think Rockstar will celebrate GTA's 20-year anniversary in some form in GTA Online? So the 20-year anniversary of GTA actually happens in October, which is why I was linking it to the Halloween update. That would be awesome because Rockstar could do a 20th anniversary throwback DLC where they feature a bunch of classic vehicles, weapons, and outfits from previous Grand Theft Auto games like GTA 4, Vice City, San Andreas, maybe even some of the other games like Vice City Stories, San Andreas Stories, and they could make an awesome throwback DLC featuring some of our favorite content from those games. And in that, they could package in the Halloween Surprise DLC that BWR was talking about. And that would be awesome for kind of a medium-sized DLC. For number one, Rockstar wouldn't have to do a ton of work as all the content is there. They would just have to make it accessible for GTA 5. And the Halloween kind of theme really writes itself. They just have to add those cool new things into the game. So yeah, that would be amazing. Once again, it all comes down to Rockstar. It would be a real shame if they like only did an event week for it or like only mentioned it on Twitter. It would be kind of a bummer if they did that. So I really am hoping that they go all out here and do a really cool anniversary DLC for the GTA series. That would be super cool. Moving on to another question from Tim, who says, what are the chances of us getting a new update that is built differently from the whole resupply, sale, setup sort of DLC? And Tim, I think you're onto something here. I think a lot of people are starting to get sick of this style of update because really over the last year and a half, that's all we've really had. It kind of started with executives and other criminals. Finance and felony built off of that. We then had bikers, import-export, now the gun-running bunker stuff. So yeah, needless to say, like 80% of the last updates, with the exception of the 2 Cunning Stunts ones, have all been about the whole like resupply, setup, sale missions. So I think a change to that would be nice. It would be a breath of fresh air, and it would be something that I would enjoy because I am kind of getting bored of the same sort of repetition money-making DLCs over and over and over again. All right, moving on, we have a question from Hogstars who says, do you think Rockstar will give us a map expansion for the very last update to GTA Online? So that actually sounds kind of cool. I want the last update to Online to be something really special, like what you mentioned, a map expansion, or what I think would be even better, sort of like a quality of life update. So what I mean by quality of life update is something that just improves the overall general feel of Online. So fixing up a bunch of wall breaches, adding more clothing outfit slots, giving us more facial hair and hairstyles, adding more animations to the game, unlocking interiors including bars and nightclubs and hospitals and buildings like Lester's Warehouse. So that's something I want Rockstar to do for the last update. Something that necessarily isn't like a theme, but is something that makes Online amazing for pretty much the rest of time. Because if it is the last update, that means that that's going to be it. And after that, it's going to be up to us to keep Online going without any new content. And what would be better than that than just having more things to do, like exploring buildings and going into places we've never been before and just having a better Online experience. So that would be my hope ultimately and overall for Online in its last update. Either a map expansion that takes us to somewhere different, like, you know, Vice City or Liberty City or San Fierro or Las Venturas or someplace like that, or a quality of life update. I think that would be the best overall situation. All right, and our final question today comes from Xarity, who says, do you think Rockstar Games will release GTA 6 Online on day one, or do it like GTA 5 and release it later with a trailer. So I think they're going to do it like GTA 5. I think deep down inside, Rockstar wants people to play their single player games. They obviously work on them for a tremendously long amount of time, and they know that if they released online and single player at the same time, everyone would just go to online and skip the single player. So I think they're going to do it exactly what they did in GTA 5. In fact, I think they'll even do that with Red Dead Redemption 2, where they'll keep the online mode locked for like 2 weeks, and then they'll eventually let people jump into it. I think that ultimately might help not only with the traffic in terms of like the servers, but also in terms of getting people to actually play the game they bought for and then jumping into the online experience. But anyways, those are all the questions that I'm going to be answering in this week's Q&A video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you want to possibly get involved and featured in the next one, all you got to do is go down in the description, follow me on Twitter, and use the hashtag AskBoss whenever I'm looking for Q&A questions, and you might find yourself featured in the next one. If you did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.